Hello and welcome to the first episode of Glo-ing Agelessly. I'm Gloria, your host. And on this show, we are going to be touching on topics surrounding older or mature women and the things that affect us, especially as it relates to peri and post menopause. Now, today I have a special guest, my sis Selena. Now, we are both content creators, and Selena has quite a voice when it comes to peri and post, well, menopause in general. And I like that she is so outspoken, not ashamed, and she's shedding light on this topic that has been a taboo for so long, and so many people are afraid to talk about it. So we want to change that. We want people to be more vocal. We want people to understand that this is just a natural part of aging. It's a process that if we are blessed or lucky enough to get to a certain age, you will experience menopause. So without any further rambling from me, I will let Selena introduce herself to you guys and, see a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So thank you for having me. My name is Selena. On social media, I'm Selena Sincerely, and I've been a creator for quite a while. I've been on social media for about 8 years, but the last 3 years have been, explosive for me, and I'm so grateful. And I think one of the biggest pushes in that area is that I decided to embrace the fact that I am menopausal, and that I am 52, and that I am, every year is a blessing, but that at some point people realize that we no longer are invisible as we age, and that we embark wisdom, we embark style, we should be celebrated, and we should, be able to express ourselves in a way that's authentic to us. And I think that the best part of living older is that you become more comfortable in yourself. And so that is what makes some of my cohorts, you and others in our age group, successful, quote unquote, because this is who we are. You're going to take it, all the flaws and, whatever, and we are able to live that way. So that's why I think that this is a coming of age of older people in general, men and women, that 40 is the new 20 and 50s are the new 30s, and it's a good damn time.
Oh, yes. And I mean, like, when you say 52, like, I'm sure you get it all the time. People are probably like shocked, like, what? I think it's only when you may start to speak that people will realize that she is a whole lot wiser than she looks. Like, you get what I'm saying, because I get that a lot.
Of course.
People look at you and they automatically assume that you are so much younger. And I feel like that in itself should tell people, why be afraid of aging? I mean, aging just is a word that just has a negative connotation to it because of what people have made it to be. Aging is never something that sounds positive or good. And I love that we are changing that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Older the better.
Of course. And I saw a quote and it said, I wish that people would stop saying, how old are you? And say, how long have you lived? Because don't say, right, don't say old. And it's so funny because in the last week, I've gotten a lot of reposts, and I'm grateful, but a lot of it is, I can't wait till I'm picking up my grandkids and I look like this. Oh, I'll fly auntie, or I'm going to be a grandma like this. And I'm not a grandma, so I appreciate that. Thank you. But my thing is this. I don't know who told us we were promised tomorrow. Right. Why don't you do what you want to do today? Put your clothes on how you want to dress. Do your makeup. Live how you want to live today, because nothing is promised. So don't be like, when I'm picking my kids up from the baseball field, literally somebody put that, and it's the cutest thing, and it's funny But why can't you go to Target like that today? Why you gotta wait for grandkids? So I think that the again, the paradigm shift in the reality that, like you said, older is actually better because you're more settled in yourself. I think I'm more settled in who I am. And there's a lot of things out there. There's life, there's travel, there's love.
Mm.
Girl, there's a
Honey.
little love. There's a lot of things out there. And you know what? You don't have to be there's no one you have to apologize to. And that's the biggest thing. I think when you age, when you get older, when you get mature, when you've lived, you don't have to explain to anyone anymore. And Nicholas and I the other night went to Lowe's at like almost 8 o'clock. It was fabulous Lowe's. And I was like, Nicholas, let's go to Lowe's. And he was like, now? And I was like, what? I'm grown. I'm allowed to go outside after 7 o'clock. So
I can't believe was having an issue with you going outside after 8.
Where you going? So it's a whole new freedom. And I think that a lot of people are appreciating that now. I really do.
I like that you talked about the freedom you have as you get older. Outside of not having as many when I say responsibilities, if you've had kids, most of them are grown. They can take care of themselves, and definitely you can travel without having to look for a babysitter. I mean, more than likely, some of the kids are already through college and working for themselves. Heck, some of them might be even helping you. What I'm saying is that they're benefits of aging, and like you touched on love, and I feel like for those who are watching, Selena, we are exactly the same age, and I feel like we have had similar situations in our lives. And I mean, just knowing that you can still find love even after 40 or 45 or 50, you can still find love and have a wonderful time courting and dating. You can feel like, for a lot of work like a teenager again.
And listen, when you see those things and they're like, older women, we want you to stop wearing your hair certain ways, and older, let me tell you something.
Or stop dressing.
Right. The older you get, I know, Miss Gloria, for true, that there's some gentleman in your DM that is very young because they in mine. So I know they in yours, okay? And so I want the older ladies to know that love comes in all shapes and sizes and ages. So don't think you're limited because you in the 40s or 50s, because it comes and they come and it is out there, and that you can, like you said, you can love and travel and enjoy and live. And even with the hindrance of menopause, because menopause does offer some challenges, we're not going to minimize it, but there's still a way to have love and a partner that understands, and that you can, adjust your life to deal with that, but still be fabulous in your mature next chapter.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the thing is with I just talk about the partner situation. My fiance Jay, you may or may not know, he's younger than I am. He's 10 years younger than me. So the challenges that I face with him is definitely not in maturity, because he's very mature for his age. But when it comes to our sexual relationships, the relations, he's got a lot more energy than I said, listen, I wish I was 20 years younger to give you the amount of energy that you give to me where sex is concerned. But I know we have ways to get around that, which I haven't done yet. But having hormone replacement therapy, there's a reason why women's libido slows down. Our hormones are shifted. So I feel like they need to understand that that is what happens. It's not that I don't love you and I don't want to glorify your body.
Right. And let me just say this. So, and I'm with you. My partner is 10 years older than me. He's 62, and he is the sexiest specimen of man. Let me tell you something. And after we were together the first time, and I know this is going to be on air somewhere, this many times, I said, I need to see your driver's license because I don't believe how old you are. And I was tired, and I'm tired because his libido has not diminished a bit, and mine has. And the good thing is that, another part of menopause is that they think that menopause is just for the woman, and menopause is for the couple, because you have to be able to have that conversation and that dialogue to make them understand. Like you said, I do want to glorify your body. I do want to be close to you. I do want to have that connection. But the disconnect between my body and my head is a real issue. And you have to, and what I tell people all the time is to give your own self grace, because this is a version of yourself you've never met. You don't know this Gloria who's going through menopause, who has hot flashes, who may not be interested, who may have discomfort with it. And you have to be aware of that. The issue is that there's a lot of information available but not given. So there is a medication called Addyi that is a pill that helps with women in libido. It is like Viagra for women. It is an oral stimulant. There is a medication called Vyleesi that is an injection that you can give yourself 45 minutes before the act. If you think, you're going to get yourself going. There's a hormone supplement called Restella that helps with libido as well. There's a wealth of products and information, but we're not made privy to that. Right. And I'm going to be honest with you. I went to my doctor, and this literally just happened. And I said to him, I know you want to keep giving me Prem Pro. That's a hormone therapy. It's one of the oldest ones. It has a lot of side effects. I said, I would like something like calamari or something. And I'm probably not saying it right. It sounds like calamari, but that's a patch. And he said, no, that has too much estrogen. I don't want to give you that. You should stay with this. So I said, okay. And it was part experiment, part I'm moving on to a different doctor. I said, okay, well, I'm interested in the Addyi. I would like to take the, pink pill for women. And no, I'm going to give you this. And he goes in a drawer and has a drawer full of the supplement, the over-the-counter supplement that he hands me a bottle. So he's pushing something else. And the thing about it is that they do diminish how we feel. They do diminish the information they give. They do, oh, you don't need that, try this, or oh, you don't need this, have a little wine. It is a real thing. It is a real physiological thing. And if you're lucky enough to have a partner like Jay that is understanding, he knows it has nothing to do with Jay. You're like, listen, Jay, you sexy, okay? You sexy. But right this minute, I just want to Netflix and no chill, okay? Just calm down. Just calm down.
Seriously, with regards to your physician, like I am currently thinking about changing mine as well, because I feel like I need someone who will find the time to have the discussion and to get me the best solution. So honestly, it's brands like Stripe and Womeness, and there's another one that I worked with before, but there is brands like these that have exposed me to the information that I now have. Like I'm actually currently reading a book, and when I read, I didn't know we had so many symptoms. Like they said
34. Over 34.
34 symptoms. Like, I mean, that's a lot. Tell me what are some of your symptoms that stand out to you, like off the bat, without thinking about it?
So, it's so, again, more information and people care. So my biggest thing is like anxiety, low libido, insomnia. So the crazy thing, so one of the issues we had with the libido part is that I do not have dryness. And I know women get, I'm not dry, I'm not dry. If you are, you are. I am not. So my body betrays me, but mentally I'm not there. So I don't have that. But
Right.
I have the low libido. I have low breast density. So I lost, the fullness. I
Yeah.
have, my skin has always been dry, younger. And I always tell my oily skin girls, you better be grateful, because when menopause comes, that oily skin's going to save you. But I have extremely dry skin. So there's all kinds of things. I have dry eyes. I get like a dry patch. I get like, there's so many things. I wake up sometimes and I'm like, why do I feel like I was beat up? Like I'm sore. Like it's a lot of things. It's a
Yeah.
lot of things. Joint pain, all kinds of things. Your gums bleed. It is crazy. It is crazy. And
Right.
for years, a lot of, when I do my menopause Mondays, a lot of young ladies that responded, or women that respond, say, my mother said she didn't have anything, or my mother didn't tell me this, or my mother didn't tell me that. I said, because women notoriously equate these symptoms to something else.
Yeah.
I'm just tired, or I'm run down, or I'm like, oh, I must have a cold, or, something's wrong with me, or you don't equate it to menopause. Menopause can last 20 years.
Listen.
20 years. And people don't know that. And people go into menopause early because medically induced, or genetic reasons, or Naomi Watts that I've worked with her brand. One of the reason she got started with Stripes is because she went into early menopause.
Yeah.
And she tells a story about how she was with a gentleman at the time that was younger, and she remembers like running in the bathroom and ripped the patch off before happy time, because she was embarrassed. Absolutely. This is the thing, this is the thing. And I don't think that we should whisper menopause anymore. We shouldn't whisper it. We should.
We are no longer whispering. I'm reading the book, like I said. In fact, I have it next to me, and this book, I have it opened. On the train, and I'm like, I no longer care, because I think that we need to be more open and not ashamed.
Right. And when I talked on I posted. Exactly. And when I posted a reel, and a young lady commented a long thing, and she felt strongly about it. And I wish women would stop pointing out flaws, and, of your perceived belly when you clearly don't have one, and that you're basically, that I was fishing for attention. And I responded to her, and I tried to respond. I get a little spicy sometimes, because people get confused. Get a little confused that, this ain't my bread and butter. I'll talk slick, okay? So don't get crazy. But I wanted to make her understand, I never said it was a flaw. A menopause belly is a real thing. Menopause is another chapter in my life. I'm not saying it is, but I think that what you need to talk about is when you did your post with Jay about lubricant, it was to show. It was, for one, it was what it was. This is a business, but it was to show other people it's okay if you need it.
Yes.
And I was saying it's okay if you woke up this morning and your stomach is not on 19 years old. And if my breasts are not on 19 years old, or if I don't feel 19 years old, it's okay. And if somebody else woke up this morning and was like, girl, me too, then that's what the purpose was it for. And I never use the word flaw, because it's not a flaw. Yeah. It's just a part of just another passage. Right.
Yeah. He took it as a flaw. Like I've been talking about the fact that I can't eat like I used to anymore. And I definitely belly, but my stomach isn't big, but it's definitely got like a softer part to it that it never had before that.
Right. I didn't say I had a fupa and all that, but it wasn't. And again, and I tried to make them understand, if you were 122 pounds for 36 years, and now you are at 140 and you can't budge that's because of menopause. It is not a flaw. It's just you're trying to figure it out. And like you said, I can't eat what I used to eat, and I'm mad. And I can't drink wine like I want, because it makes me have a hot flash. So it's okay. It's okay. And I'm glad that so many of us have joined the party. And one of the reasons that I started working with her MD is because, and we want to make this clear to everyone, this is not shameless plugs of brands we work with. This is just conversation. And the reason that I like her MD is because her MD is going to offer a gynecological side with an aesthetic service as well. And the reason for that is because you can offer aesthetic service, Botox, like, injections, collagen treatments, microderma for 45 minutes. But many physicians will give you a 15-minute medical appointment. So you're rushed in and out. You can't say what you want to say. So because her MD was able to harness that together and be a hybrid, you can get to speak with a doctor for the time you need to be able to work on your symptoms, especially if it's a new appointment. Can you imagine walking in and the person is like, okay, what's your problem? And you got to tell everything in 15 minutes. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, for me, I'm looking for another place, and her MD is opening in Jersey near me. I'm in New York, like you're in New York, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to get some treatment there. And there's so many treatments available for us. So I'm grateful about that.
I like that. I've recently been invited to Tara MD, Dr. Susan, I can't remember her last name, but Tara MD, yeah, she works very closely with Stripes, Women-Nest, and other, brands that are definitely changing the whole game as far as it comes to menopause. And she is someone I actually said, I feel like I'm going to feel weird coming to her, but I actually thought about coming to her because she understands what it is like. I mean, she herself is experiencing the same symptoms that we are experiencing. So for her, it's not only it's personal as well. So she's coming at a place of understanding. So she has empathy because she too understanding of what
and I think that's where that's the most important part of it, because her MD is two sisters. The lead is a doctor, and her sister left her job to help to come be a part of it, and to make sure women get the treatment that they need to talk about. And this is and I'm so grateful to them because I've gotten a lot of knowledge from them. And when I do my Men on Monday, I share the communication that I get so that I can give back the proper information, because God forbid I would tell anybody anything that's not correct. But I think that besides, as much as we want to, I think that there's a fine line in it. As much as we want to, continue the conversation about menopause and continue to get the word out and continue to talk about it, we also don't want it to let it, encompass your whole entire being. This is just a part of who we are. We're fabulous, we're fashionable, you're gorgeous, you're vivacious, you're sexy. This is the stuff that we want to talk about, and that menopause is just a small part, and we want to make people know that that's not going to diminish all those other things that make up Gloria, because Gloria is fucking badass. So, and I want people should know that should know that. Don't fear it. Just go in with as much knowledge as you can, like anything else.
Yeah. So it's all about not being afraid to discuss it, but at the same time, we are not menopause. It's just something that's happening to us. It's that we're going through, and we just want to find ways to tackle it so that we can continue to thrive and not just deal with it, because that's what I guess our parents, our foreparents, they dealt with it. I remember asking my mom, like, when did you go through menopause? And she couldn't tell me. And then I said, okay, let me ask my cousin, because I was told to ask some relatives who are close to you. So the only person who really gave me more insight was my aunt. She's more outspoken and more forward thinking. So I couldn't get a whisper out of her.
So that was my grandmother. My grandmother long gone, but my grandmother never talked about it. My mother is still with me. I'm grateful. My mother is, she's doesn't like sit down and be like, girl, but if I ask her, she's very forthright. So I appreciate that. And I too, I don't have a sister, but I too have a cousin that's 6 years older to me who's very open, and anything I ask, she's willing to give and explain. And it's unfortunate that a lot of us, kind of had to piecemeal the information together, because that's how it
Yeah.
was. That always has been.
To figure it out. I mean, honestly, I feel like when I think about the worst parts of menopause for me, and are still on menopause for now, because I feel like we're gonna do another episode with you, Selena.
We are.
We want to touch on the other parts of you that make you so vibrant and vivacious. So for me, I feel like my biggest issues as far as menopause is that I feel this anxiety that I never had before, the brain fog. That thing is real. I mean, I've done YouTube for a while, and when I look back at some of my older videos, I watch them and say, I remember when I never stumbled over sentences, and now I'm stumbling over them. Like, I can't figure out what I'm supposed to say, or I'll forget a brand. Like, I know the brand, it's like it's right there. I know I looked at the damn name for so now I actually have to like keep my phone and
like little notes. Yes, you have to write like little notes. I have to tape them up so that
I don't forget. I never had to do that before. It's awful. That part is the worst for me. Just the brain fog. Everything else, even to me, even with sex, like you say, dryness. People, I am not completely dry, but I know I'm not as lubricated as I used to be. Not like when I was in my 30s. When I was in my 30s, the good thing is I've always had a higher estrogen level.
So, me too. That's one of the issues. So that's what we have to touch on too, because one of the issues with HT hormone therapy is that that's a problem. So for us high hormone, our estrogen girls, you have to find the right doctor that's going to do the right combination, because you got to bring a steroid in. So that's me. I'm a high estrogen girl. So that's a problem for us. So these are all the things that you need to be aware of as, we go through the process.
Well, I realized that they were suggesting progesterone, and if you're going to be taking certain, so I understand that there's
it's a cocktail. The cocktail. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, so if it can help me with definitely my sleep pattern, my libido, not just my libido, and my anxiety and my brain fog, those are the 4 biggest issues. Not even the stomach that's soft anymore. That used to make me like
the partner doesn't really, honestly, they don't care about that. But I think that what people don't know, and I know we could talk for hours, is that I remember I watched a YouTube, and there's a gentleman that was talking about being in a relationship, and it does have a point to menopause. He said that they were going through a lot of trouble financially, and the way for his stress relief was having sex with his wife, and his wife was stressed and worried about money and the wolves at the door, and she did not want to have sex. And he said that he didn't understand that, because that's how he got stress relief. And he didn't understand that women, when they're stressed and anxious and depressed and worried, that's the last thing on their mind. So that's the thing that menopause has stolen, because I'm not sleeping, because I'm stressed, because I have anxiety, because I have brain fog. The last thing on my mind is, sexy time, because it's stealing that from me. So I think that, that's a big deal. And that's definitely something we can touch on. I know you're going to have other guests. I just talked you to death.
The thing is, there's so many other things that can lead to other topics. And that's just early conversations anyhow. Because when I think the whole sex thing and tiredness and stress, when I travel, when I go on vacation,
it's a different,
every time, because I'm not so stressed, I'm relaxed, and it definitely helps, because your brain, the hormones in your brains are now telling you, everything is good.
Everything is good. Everything is good.
So that can also help. Removing the things that are giving you those are exacerbate. How do you say that word?
Yep, that's true.
The symptoms. Get rid of those things.
Exactly.
And that's I'm trying to do.
Right.
Remove stress from my life. Don't need it. It's a no for
Amen.
me.
Don't recommend zero stars. Stress is bullshit.
We don't need it in our lives.
I
Thank
don't
you
want it. Amen.
I would love for us to have a discussion only for the next time. We're gonna probably be wrapping up in like 5 minutes or so. But one of the things I found as a content creator is that, and this is for those people who create content in our age group. If you've ever have you ever felt like you were whitelisted or blacklisted, whatever word you want to call it, because you are of a certain age? Do people cut you out? Because I have experienced being cut out because of my age. Not that I can't do the same thing that the person younger than I can do, but because you just have this thing that it's impossible. You're too old for this, you know?
I don't that I have to be honest with you. I have not experienced ageism in the negative. I actually have been experiencing ageism, and I don't know if it's a positive, you can say ism, but I've experienced the opposite as of lately, and I'm grateful for whatever gets you to the party. I've experienced that brands that I wouldn't think would come to me are coming to me now because they want to get this age group. Because like we talked about at Laura Geller event, this is the thing. Somebody woke up and said, women of a certain age got $5. So why are we not promoting and dealing and targeting that age group? Because they are stylish, they do look good, they want to look good. So I've been experiencing and I'm grateful it in the opposite, in the positive, that they're like, listen, we want to send you this because we think. And I'm like, y'all wouldn't have thought about this 3 years ago. And so that's what I'm experiencing. I'm grateful for that. So I have not experienced the ageism, of negatives of it.
All right. So I've not had a brand say to me, oh, you are too old. But on some platforms that I work with, there is some cutoff. Like, most of my campaigns I've gotten through people reaching out directly. But I have 1 or 2 platforms that I get work through. And when I read what the requirements are, a lot of the age requirement that says 35, 18 to 35, 21. I'm like, 35 is getting even lower. So even people older than 35 are getting cut out of it too. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And yes, I agree with you. Not like for you, not directly to Gloria, say, Gloria, you can't. But yes, somebody sent me something that was like, oh, you would be great for this. And I read it and I said, did you see them ages?
I love that we were able to do this. And I know that you, Selena, have been in the game for a while. And I say bless you because I've been following you way before. And then, we all got connected. I think people realize who I was when I turned 50. Like, oh, she's 50 like I am. Like, I actually grew a ton after turning 50.
That was me. Me too.
Yeah. Selena and I, we chatted before and a couple of times, and it's always good conversation, entertaining.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to have you back on the show so that we can continue to talk about and show people how we can all glow agelessly.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
See you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.